Cindy, what you got going on for us now? Because I know it's next level gear.
It is. I am here with Allison Vantoff, and she is the co-founder of the Almar um, gear. And we actually have a model here, and her name is.
Ava Vantoff.
And you go to Clemson, am I correct? What are you studying?
Yes, I'm a sophomore at Clemson and I'm studying marketing.
That is awesome. And she is actually modeling one of the newest styles. So I'm going to let Allison tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you, Cindy. As Cindy said, I am one of the co-founders of the Almar lifestyle apparel brand, which basically marries a t-shirt or a hoodie with a built-in patent pending COVID protection face covering, so you never have to worry about leaving home without your mask. And it's really exciting. Ava is wearing this, and this garment that Ava's wearing is a custom PFD garment dyed Clemson 165. If you're a Clemson fan like we all are here, it's Clemson 165 and Regalia 268. It's custom PFD dyed, and as you can see, it's got the built-in facial covering, which is called the Almar. And you can purchase these at Tiger Sport Shop in both locations, and also Dabo Sweeney's Bring Your Own Guts website, which I manage and run for Dabo, where a portion of our proceeds go to Kathleen and Dabo's All In Team Foundation.
Yes, and let me tell you, you also have on a shirt, so let's not forget that. We have sweatshirts, but you also have short sleeve shirts. I have two sweatshirts, and I have this shirt.
Yeah, it's great. I wore this because this is a unisex t-shirt that's also found on the BYOG website and also at Tiger Sport Shop. But I wore it to show that women can also wear a unisex t-shirt and make it a little bit more of a fashion statement, and also support their Tigers if you're a true diehard Clemson fan like all of us are.
And let me ask you, because you've got a very interesting story on how this even came about.
So you're going to make me cry. So we live in Los Angeles, California. I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, and went to California to go to college and ended up staying and having children and raising a family. And we, in California, it's pretty challenging right now that everywhere we go, we have to wear masks. And I have a son who's in college, and Ava and Trevor came home from college like May or March 13th or 14th. And we had a mandatory facial covering mask, mandatory mask wearing. You have to wear a mask everywhere you go. And so Trevor, my son, who couldn't really wrap his head around that this is like a law and you'll get fined $350 if you walk out of your house into the street, your neighbors will basically report you. So we were in a grocery store, and Trevor, I wear scarves and hats a lot. If I'm not wearing my BYOG hat, I'm wearing my Carolina Panther hat that I'm going to have to retire now and get a Washington hat because Coach Rivera is my guy. But anyway, Trevor looks at me because he had forgotten his mask, and the manager comes up to us and says, "Son, you forgot your mask." And so Trevor looks at me and Ava, and Ava just says, "Trevor, I told you so." So Trevor pulled my scarf from around my neck, and we were like sharing this scarf. And so he's like, "Mom, you're really creative. You're the most creative person I know, and you got to figure this out." So we went home that night, and I started thinking about what Trevor said. And I've been in college licensing and professional sports licensing for my entire 30-year career, designing merchandise for fans and athletes and coaches and staff and alumni. And I'm like, I can do this. I'm going to figure out something that, helps kids. And having college kids, it started to kind of resonate. So I went into my closet, Trevor and Ava's closet, and pulled out every single hoodie that they had in our house, because I knew, being in licensing, that hoodies are the number one piece of apparel that is sold 24/7, 365 days a year, no matter what in climate you're in. So I took my scarves and I just started kind of playing around with the fabric and, positioning it. And I go, there's got to be a way that I can get this fabric to stay in there and it looks really good, and the stitches stay. We call it a ditch in the stitch in manufacturing. And I'm like, I'm going to call my longtime colleague who has printed almost every t-shirt for every NFL team or every college that I work with. And I called her the next day and I said, Maria, I have this idea. And I went down and saw her and I drew it out on paper for her. And she's like, okay, Allie, let me take a look at this. And she called in her head seamstress, and his name is Freddie, and he only speaks Spanish. And he starts speaking in Spanish, and I didn't know if he was talking about me or not, thinking, who is that crazy person? Like, what idea is this? So anyway, I went back the next day, and Maria brought out a hoodie that had the facial covering, which is a special fabric because it's real important to feel soft around your face, to not, absorb like moisture that can cause acne or something like that. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. So I just started crying and I called my attorney and I said, I think I have something here. I need to get this thing patented. I'm not really sure where this is going to go, but it's patented, and we're super excited because it also, what was exciting is that having Ava and Trevor in college, we started doing these Zoom focus groups because, everybody's on Zoom, whether you're working or in school, or it's like they were still in class. So they have friends that go to college from every college across the country. Yes. So I started getting their feedback, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I want one. I'll never have to worry about forgetting my mask and get in trouble. So, yes. And the name Almar, just so you know, Almar, when I started researching this, hoodies and where hoodies date back to, like the Benedictine monks, and a major apparel brand was the first apparel brand to put a hoodie in the market. And the definition of a hoodie is trustworthy, your go-to, it's a security, it's your wingman or your BFF, your bae. And I started thinking, okay, we have to think of a name that resonates to what a hoodie stands for. So then I started looking up the definition of Allison and Maria, who is my partner, and there are a lot of adjectives and verbs that are synonymous with, like, trustworthy, honest, your go-to girl, your go-to friend, friendly or whatnot. So Almar is a combination of Allison and Maria.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, you heard it. You can get your gear at the Tiger Sports Shop, and I have too, and they are extremely nicely made. So hop on over and get your gear, or we have some here.
And see, it goes like this. You just can walk, and then it's like,
there you go. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And welcome back in. Is again that you, for a business owner or somebody, guys, and y'all had a very successful career in building and construction after your pro days in the NFL.